So here we go, the first round of Mangled Metal number 2, and we're seeing Red Tide versus the Kazna crew from the Kazna crew point of view. I'm excited to see this today. Oh wow, only one artillery from the Kazna crew. Wow, okay, that's interesting on Mines. Mines is actually quite an open map. I expected to see a lot more. And we have 3 TDs from them. That's also surprising from my point of view, although you did say that you expected to see some TDs.
Yeah, just because of the newly added TDs and the alpha damage that they can dish out if they're going to get into positions. But as I've mentioned also, I did expect to see some of the new TDs simply because of the alpha damage. But then again, not if they were going to pick the other tank destroyers, which doesn't have a turret. And as we can see on the one of the teams, they have all picked the new T100 and E4, which has the turret, so it won't have the disadvantage of not being able to look around corners without taking.
Well, we have a lot of action going on in the middle. I hate to interrupt you, but all the bad chats have got up to the middle and pretty much wrecked each other.
Yep, as we talked about with without any sounds, I did predict that the bad chats would be pushing up here and quickly getting into artillery cover. As you can see, they've also gone up against 3 artilleries, and they could really put the hurt on if they just get a single shell down there. And because the bad chat has no armor whatsoever, so the splash damage would be enormous.
Oh wow! The artillery from the team. What's your team? We call them the crew. I'll call them a crew. The crew team just hit one of the Bachas Leons just as you said that for 1,000 damage. He went from max health down to 246 damage, and he was behind a rock. That was splash damage. It wasn't even a direct hit.
Yeah, that's the danger of having the autoloader on the French tanks, because even though it can dish out a lot of damage in just a very short amount of time, it is.
There he goes.
Yeah, there he goes, and he's dead. But the no damage, the no armor really does hurt in the artillery fight, because one artillery can easily one-shot the bad chats.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it now, pushing the E100s forwards, and they've just been taken out again. The Supreme Jim from Nob is tracked in the open in his IS-7. He's not bouncing many shots there. He's going to get taken out in the next salvo. We've got the 2 Bachata Leons, I think, reloading by this point. And, 4 HP, but the object, 261, gets a blasting hit and takes him down too. So that's the middle push gone down from the crew. The Red Tide are playing very defensively around D6. It's another one of those things that we expected from the mouse play. They don't go up the hill. They don't have to talk, as you said while we were during the blackout, which we keep mentioning. The mouses are holding that corner. They've got the armor. They're protected from artillery there, so they're going to be quite a hard ball to break through. What do you think the crew can do to get past this wall of mouse?
Well, right now, the best thing for me would be, as they're doing right now, they're pushing 2 bad chats around the outer regions of the map in J2, and yeah, J2, the other bad chat got into that as well just now. And because they can't really get around that corner with 3 artillery, tier 8 artillery, they can't really just push around that corner, even though they tried a little bit with the American E4s. Even though if they could get around there and just get a shot off, they wouldn't really be in any kind of position to get back into cover, because they are very prone to get artillery hit over there.
Yeah, the hill is moving on now. They're outnumbered over there on the hill. YR from the... Oh dear. An ally shot there from the GW Type E just took out his own Bachata Leon. 2 Bachata Leon went down for Red Tide, and the crew only lost 1, with the other one managing to get away. So that was an unfortunate position there for Red Tide, and also they're losing one of their artillery now, and it's gone. That's not good. Correct.
Yeah. Should be.
We have then
Okay,
a push
good.
still going
Well,
on down here against the mouse wall that I said earlier. We have the crew coming around trying to move their way slowly. They're moving positions to move the damaged mouse to the back and the one with more health to the front. Remember, guys, that's the better way to do it. Every gun on your team is important. So as long as you have 1 HP, you've got a gun. That's what's the most important for your teammates. So we have here the T-62A, the tier 10 new medium tanks from the Russian tree, pushing up. And this is one of the tanks that we were not sure whether we'd see too many of them during this tournament, so I can't wait to see how they're utilized. A reflecting shot from Kapakotka. The mouse just took 2 penetrating shots from the E4s. The next E4 is going to take another shot in a second. He missed or ricocheted. I don't know where he shot there. I think he was going for the Batalion behind. But they're moving up now, and the crew in a good position, nice and solid, coming around very slowly. They've taken out all the artillery support for Red Tide, and that was the first mouse that have gone down. They've got 2 mouse left, and they're really low on HP, both of them. 462 to 371. And the E4s are pushing very slowly and sturdily. These American tanks are beastly. I thought after the nerf they received in the last patch that they were going to be less used, but oh no, they're still here in force doing an amazing job.
Yep, they're really, really, really powerful. And as you can see, even though the mouse has positioned him perfectly, the new insane amount of penetration on these new TDs are just enough to just force their way through the mouse turret, which usually just bounced to all other guns previously. But now any TD, tier 10 TD, can just shoot wherever he likes, unless it's an angle spot, and just penetrate each and every time, which they've done.
Yeah. The Rising Tide have fallen for this round, but that's alright. It's best out of 3, and they're going to have another try in a minute. What do you think could have been done differently for Red Tide in this battle? They played very defensively. They spread out their Batalions all across the island, and they pushed down to the southwest. They had 1 go onto the hill, which was suicide, because he was outnumbered 20 to 1. What do you think they could have done?
Well, I think they pushed a little bit too far ahead with the first Batchat, which got taken out very quickly by the enemy artillery in 2 shots, splashed both of them. And I think that's really the key here. The lone Batchat pushed way too far ahead and got taken out. If that Batchat had stayed back just a little bit longer, then the 2 Batchats who went and spotted the enemy artillery and just took them out, all of them, then they wouldn't have been able to just get in as easily and spot their entire team back there.
Yeah, there's actually something that's bothering me. I was watching the other battle and I kept trying to say Nob instead of crew, because most of their tags were Nob. Do you think that means that this is actually a team formed mostly from the Nob clan? These guys are not new to the scene at all. So that's something to definitely pay in mind. I was looking at the last battle, and when I was looking at them going, I keep wanting to call them Nob, and then I was like, they're the Kansan crew. I'm not sure. Yeah. We're gonna have to look into that. But yeah, I've got to remind the crowd, we're on an 8-minute delay here, so there can be no stream watching, no cheating. So if we respond to your comments a bit late on the stream, sorry, but hello. Really, really sorry about the lack of sound at the start of the stream. But I assure you that the conversation was amazing. So you guys got to tune in next time for the intro. Anyway, round 2 starting soon. Do you think we're going to see a change in lineups from both teams?
Well, I don't think we're going to see a lineup change in the crew, Kazna crew, because their tactics worked and their plans worked and everything they did actually worked. So I don't think they should be changing. If some of their tanks didn't perform as they had hoped, then of course they can make changes. But they did very well in this battle, so no changes on my side. I don't think so.
I'm looking here, and I see a lot less Batalions, but 2 of them have not readied up yet, so they might be the other 2, and they're deciding what they should do. Oh, pardon me. So yeah, I was very curious to see what they're going to do, at least with tactics. Spreading out like they did beforehand, I think was the reason they got decimated so easily early on. They lost 2 or 3 of their tanks much earlier than they thought, and it looks like they've subbed out a Bachathlon for a mouse, so they're going even more defensive. Hold on a second. They're asking a few questions, so could you...
Yeah, well, on my side, they're actually keeping to the E4s, of course, because they did do good, but we're seeing a few less bat chats right now. I'm only seeing 3 right now, and I don't know if that's a mistake or an improvement, because right now they did very well by pushing up into the middle, but again, they had 3 bat chats sitting up there just doing nothing for quite some time, and if they have tanks that are doing nothing really, then what's the point in having them up there? Yeah, they pushed up there, but they didn't really need all that help to get up there, because they had help from the entrance of the hill by the AMX 50B, 2 of them, and helping out with just closing out the gap between the bad jets and the enemies, so that no one would be able to push up to the hill as well.
Well, we're going to see what they're going to do in about 1 minute, guys. So we'll just take this opportunity to restate the rules for Mangled Metal for the people who have doesn't know and missed the intro.
Yeah, let's find them just a second. Sorry. Without jumping too much over the whole game. Well, it is this time around, it is unlimited tiers, and you can pick any tanks in the entire game. All tier 10 tanks are allowed, even the new ones, but you have to have 2 at least from every nation, and up to 14 players per team, and 6 reserve players. A minimum tier point pool of 70, and a maximum of 2. And we're actually going into the battle now, so but the rest of the win conditions and everything else is the same as in every single random battle. 15 minutes each battle. You win by destroying all enemy vehicles or capturing a base, and all rounds are best of 3. So we're going to see if Kazna crew is going to win again, which then will lead them to the semi-finals.
Definitely, we've got to see if Red Tide can actually pull this one back. So if you guys in the crowd like Red Tide, you better cheer for them now, because they need to hear it for you. They're down 1 game. If they lose this game, they're out of here. So good luck to you, Red Tide. We've got 1 game in hand from the crew. Let's see what happens. Boom.
Going over here.
Righty ho, they're going into the position now. They're going for definitely a different tactic. You guys can't see it on the stream, but the crew, Red Tide are going for the hill this time with all their Bachathlons. They're copying the same tactic that the crew did last game. Here we go, up onto the top. We have all Bachathlons here, all 4 of them. They're colliding into each other. Ramming is going on like mad. Explosions. All the clips must be coming out now. They're going to be able to shoot at each other any second now. The shots are coming out. We're taking 2 hits from Vermin. He's down. We lost 1 guy down already from Red Tide. Another one's going down. That's 2 Bachathlons down already. This is disastrous for Red Tide. The 3rd one is going down. All the shots coming out here. That's 3 down with none down for the crew. That was an absolute destruction from Red Tide.
Yeah.
Oh.
Massive massacre. That was insane. And they even though they focused their targets, some of them did fire off their guns even after the enemy was killed. So they wasted a few shells, but none of them died. So the enemy clearly didn't focus fire. They could have been taken out. If you look at the damage done to the bad jets in total, they could have taken out a single bad jet if they had focused fire. But it was total chaos up there, and they were just dying like flies.
Am I still a robot?
Nope.
Good. That will happen with Skype. That just happens occasionally. I apologize, guys. Anyway, we have more action going on in the middle. What can Red Tide do to get back at this? I'm not sure. Have you any idea what they can do with their mouses to try and pull back the devastating loss of an artillery and 3 of their Bachathlons?
Well, right now, I can only say no, actually, because they still have all of their tanks left, and they've added another artillery, so this is going to be very tough, because the mouse players can't really move out anywhere because they're so slow. So picking those tanks after losing the defensive strategy, I don't really think that was a very good idea. And they also lost an artillery already, so they're down one artillery, and that's another either big tank or small fast tank. So they're really pressed right now.
Really pressed. I would never. Sorry, I'll start that again in English. They're not out yet. They still have all their top mouses at max HP. They can still do a lot of damage with these guys, and they can still hold back. If the crew get a bit over callous, they decide to rush or do something silly, they could still lose. The Bataillons, as we pointed out many times, have paper armor. These guys have huge burst damage output, but they have no armor. One artillery shell can wreck one of them. A good few shots from the mouse will take them down. So if they're, I don't know, cocky is the wrong word to use, I would say, but if they do get a bit sloppy and push forward and take Red Tide for granted, even though they're down 4 tanks, they could still lose this.
Yep, indeed they could. And you can see on the map they're playing very cautiously. Or you can't, but we can. And right now they're actually spread out in a line all over the map. They're not letting anyone move anywhere without...
Nice.
And the T-62A gets taken out by the E5 sitting down in G4.
Well, Mojo's probing ahead for crew. He's probing ahead and just dodged an artillery shell there. I'm not sure what the others can do about that, but yeah, we can see that you guys, the crew, are actually trying to see what they can do, because I don't think Red Tide are going to do anything but go for a draw at this point.
Yeah, a draw would definitely
allow them to start again.
Very good. Yeah, allow them to start again, and that would be a good idea. If they could hold out, but again, the entire enemy team, apart from one, is still alive, and that includes the 3 massive damage dealers in the TDs, and 3 bad chats who can just fly around the map and cause annoyance and destruction at the same time.
Totally. We can actually see Izzy. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. People should keep tabs on the amount of times I mispronounce someone's name, because I'm terrible at it. But Zakiko on the mouse is actually watching Zikity from the crew and seeing what he can do about it. And Ronnie Found goes down to an artillery shell from Ziggy. I wonder if he's Ziggy Stardust or a relation, but that was a good shot to take down the only scout these guys had in the southwest. So again, Red Tide are getting pushed into a corner. They're not sure what to do at this point, and I think the crew are making their move now. So we're going to have some action heating up for you any second now, guys.
Yep, definitely seeing some action here. The E4s are all pushing forward, or 2 of them is, but again, the nerfed accuracy and aim time with a miss on the mouse tanks again. So the tank has been nerfed. It used to have a lot more accuracy and better reload time and aim time. No, reload time is the same, but aim time.
Well, we've just seen one of the Bataillons go down from the Kazna crew, but the Object 261 was spotted by the aggressive Ivan, who went through the main base of the Red Tide. Now, Red Tide's actually got a cap and attempt against them now, and they're in no position to stop it. Unfortunately, all their mouses, which we know are slow, as we said earlier, cannot get back to base in time, I don't think, unless they play, they go now. And if they go now, they're going to be out in the open, they're going to die. So this is actually a really viable tactic and really smart move here from the crew. The pressure is on for Red Tide to make a move here, but they are utterly surrounded and really blocked in. They've got 1 medium tank left, and I think it's time to say goodnight. They're utterly surrounded and in the open. I think we're seeing Kazna crew going through to the semi-finals here, guys.
Yeah, pushing in with a single bad chat. The other bad chat just died, but pushing in with the bad chats to start the cap really forces the enemy to make mistakes, because the cap counter just started, and if they want any chance of another game, then they have to move, and none of them did, but the enemy just surrounded them and started
GG's getting thrown out now by the Kazna crew. So they think it's won, and the GG's come out from the Rising Tide, so they know it's over as well. That was a good, exciting game. It was decided probably in the first minute, as all of the Bachata-Lions went to the hill for Red Tide, went down in the opening salvo, and somehow all of them survived from the crew. That was absolutely amazing. I don't know how they managed to do that. I think I'm going to call hacks here. They had some sort of shield generator going on there. And wow, that was utterly crazy. So well done, crew. You'll see you in the semi-finals. And let's see if we can get some update on some of the other games. Better luck next time, Red Tide.